Hello, everyone. This is Jay Dobbins of the official Marvel DC Multiverse, and we're now episode 466. I'll be discussing one topic, which is the Black Panther franchise is in jeopardy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really can't believe I'm saying this, but I think that Marvel Studios has officially shot themselves in the foot as far as the Black Panther franchise is concerned. And then worse. I'm hearing that Ryan Coogler is likely going to direct the third film, which I think is a bad idea because one, okay, don't get me wrong, the first Black Panther film was a success. I wouldn't call it was good. I mean, was it a masterpiece? No. I mean, they could have done the CGI better at the end between with the fight between Killmonger and T'Challa. So they could have did a lot better on the CGI as far as that fight, but there were some plot holes, not a whole lot, but it was still good, you know. Then T'Challa, and then of course Chadwick Boseman dies, so therefore, in Ryan Coogler's mind, the character T'Challa has to die with him, which I thought was very stupid. And this is exactly why people like him should not be directing anything, you know, because one, he got caught in his feelings, you know. They should have delayed the movie, but they decided, no, we're going to make it a tribute instead. So I go to the movie theater, and it's like, you know, of course, I go to the movies, you know, I go to the movie theater with my best friend, and it was like we were going to a funeral. That's what it felt like watching the film. Which is one of the reasons why the film had no repeat value in the first place. Now, the first film had repeat value. I mean, after all, I saw it 3 times in theaters. The first time by myself, the second time with my dad, and then the third time with my best friend Regina. So like I said, repeat value. This one, the second film, it wasn't worth seeing a second time in theaters, you know, because I don't feel like going to another funeral again, you know, the same funeral rather. But like I said, they dropped the ball on this. The first film made 1.35 billion, while the second film made, I would say, somewhere between 861 million to 900 and sorry, not 900. I would say somewhere between 861 million to 891 million worldwide. Now, if they had recast the character, the film would have either made the same amount or more. Who knows? It probably would have doubled. But because they didn't make, you know, because they didn't make this, they didn't break the record. Because the second film didn't break the record, Kevin Feige, you know, decided to change his tune and tell Empire Magazine when asked about why he didn't, you know, why he one of the real reasons why he refused that he didn't recast T'Challa, he says, "Oh, we felt like it was much too soon." But see, if the film made $1.35 billion, as you know, as much, you know, just like the first film, then I mean, if the second film made that much, like the first film did, oh, his answer would have been completely different. So with that going on, it's like, you know, obviously it was a very stupid decision because one, you alienated 40% of that fan base. So of course you know the first film got 100% of that fan base, while the second film only got 60% of the fan base, and that 60% is, you know, Marvel movie fans and of course the black community. While the comic book fans, on the other hand, were like decided, okay, no T'Challa, no ticket, and obviously that message was loud and clear, and you know those The true Black Panther fans, which are the comic book fans, they made they made their point, and they also proved their point as well in the for the box office, because, like I said, no T'Challa, no ticket. So, which sucks, but what can you do? Now, the second film, the sequel, made less than the previous film, which is an embarrassment in my opinion. Did they get returns on their investment? Of course, because they needed 600 million. They needed 600 million to break even. So not only did they break even, but they got a return on their investment as well, which is still not enough because the film made less than the first film, which is embarrassing. And then, of course, Ryan Coogler, which I believe he lied, saying that the plan was to have two Black Panthers, which, no. He wasn't going to do that. His vision was far different. Matter of fact, his vision wasn't even comic book accurate. Shoot. I mean, he didn't even put Storm in the film. And why would T'Challa and Nakia, she was a comic book villain in the Black Panther comics. So why would the king of Wakanda fall in love with the villain in the comics and then make a child, and then have a child together? But like I said, according to writers at Marvel Studios, they weren't allowed to follow the source material. So obviously, Ryan Coogler, just like Zack Snyder, had their own vision, which is fine, but at least, have, put some, at least use the source material, which is the comics, do that. But Ryan Coogler wanted to do his own thing, and now put the entire franchise at risk. And I guarantee you, if he thinks that the third film is going to make $1 billion or more than the second film, he's mistaken, pretty much. He's pretty much delusional. I'm going to be honest with you. If I were him, if I were him, I would strongly suggest, which he's not going to do it anyway, recast the character. Matter of fact, and this is what I've said this before. You don't have to recast, Earth 616 T'Challa. Just do a variant. Because the variant's going to differentiate from Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa anyway. Because Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa is Earth 616. So instead of, recasting the Earth 616 T'Challa, just recast the character altogether. And just create a variant from a different universe. A universe that's, say, possibly destroyed. Like, say, for example, Galactus, in one universe, say his universe, Galactus successfully devours Earth. And yet, T'Challa's the sole survivor. And maybe his mother, Ramona. We don't know. But just like, hey, say Galactus devours Earth successfully. The Avengers and other superheroes fail to stop him. T'Challa is the only sole survivor of that universe, and somehow gets transported to Earth 616. You'll have a variant, and it differentiates from Chadwick Boseman T'Challa. Therefore, it's a win-win on both sides. It's a win-win for the Black community, the comic book fans, and the Marvel movie fans all together. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's the only thing that's gonna save that franchise. Is Ryan Coogler gonna do it? Of course not. He doesn't have the brains to pull it off. The guy's caught in his feelings. The only way something like that will happen is if you get the Russo brothers. The Russo brothers did a better job with T'Challa than Ryan Coogler did, because the Russo brothers, they directed Captain America: Civil War, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like T'Challa stole that movie pretty much. And then, like I said, the Russo brothers did a good job with the character than Coogler did pretty much. So you need to get them. So you might want to. It's best in Marvel Studios places the Russo brothers in charge of the Black Panther franchise from now on instead of Ryan Coogler, because he already dropped the ball. He shot himself in the foot. It's it. That's it. He's not going to be able to bounce back from, you know, making. He's not going to bounce back from having the first film make less than sorry. He's not going to bounce back from having the sequel make less than the first film. I mean, if he doesn't, like I said, if he doesn't, put a T'Challa variant in the film, he might as well forget it. Because that's the only thing that's going to save him. Nothing else is going to save him except for that. So, if I were him, I would just step down because he's only going to make it worse. T'Challa Jr., you think the comic book fans are going to be happy about that? No. They made it even worse. Is it nice that T'Challa has a legacy? Yes. But to make him the Black Panther, that's only going to piss off the comic book fans even more. And on top of that, he took the comic book fans for granted. He thought that the second film was going to gather everyone together like the first film. No. The comic book fans made it very clear. No T'Challa, no ticket. Did he listen? No. And he makes it sound as if, a $900 million, is a huge accomplishment. $800 million is accomplishment. Not really. It's not really an accomplishment if you're making less than the first film. If your sequel makes less than the first film. Not even close. So, I'm gonna be honest with you. Him being caught in his feelings is it's putting the entire franchise at risk. We could have had two Black Panthers. We could have had T'Challa, the King of Wakanda, and of course Shuri as Black Panther. But he said that was his idea all along before Chadwick Boseman died, which was garbage. I don't buy that BS for a second. The only reason why he said that is because the sequel made less than the first film. That's the only reason why he's saying that. But that was never, having two Black Panthers in a sequel, it was never his idea to begin with. So, and on top of that, if that was his idea, trust me, he would have recast the character, and you would have gotten the comic book fans back on board. But he, like I said, he thought that he was going to get everyone together. But now, what he did was divide the comic book fans and the Marvel movie fans along with the black community. Now, like I said, if he had put a variant in the film, in the post-credit scene, that would have, people would have, the film probably would have made more money, and they would have been ready for Black Panther 3. So, and as I said in the previous episode, T'Challa is not going to be recast until after Secret Wars. So, yeah, I'm pretty much getting my hopes up on that. Recasting T'Challa. They could have put a variant in the film and prepare that, that character, the T'Challa variant, for Secret Wars. They could have done that, but they're not going to do that until after. But they're not going to recast the character until after Secret Wars, unfortunately. Hopefully, that's if it's true. But right now, I'll give my hopes up on the Black Panther franchise, pretty much. So whatever happens, happens. I'm still going to watch the films. I'm still going to cover it for this podcast. So I'm pretty much invested in that. So, but I ain't got nothing to hope for as far as the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or the Venomverse, not even the Venomverse, because are they, they haven't confirmed. No, you're not gonna have a, it doesn't look like and sound like they're gonna have a, Tom Hardy Spider-Man versus, sorry, Tom Holland's Venom versus Tom Holland's, sorry, Tom Hardy's Venom versus Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and then both of them versus Woody Harrelson's Carnage, a multiverse Carnage. So we're not, obviously it looks and sounds like we're not going to get that. So, I mean, what is there to hope for? Hell, we probably not even going to get a Spider-Man versus Tom Holland's Spider-Man versus Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin. We're probably not going to get that. So, I mean, like I said, I ain't got nothing to hope for. I'm still going to take my best friend to see the Marvel films. Since both of us are invested in those films, I'm still going to cover it for my podcast. And right now, I don't even know if I want to root for DC right now, but I'd rather root for them than I'd rather root for the DCU than the MCU at this point. So, I mean, I don't know. But like I said, there's plenty of time, so who knows? Things might change before Secret Wars. So, well, that concludes this topic. Feel free to follow us on Instagram. We're available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and now Twitch.